Hello everyone, in this video we're unboxing this device right here. It's the KTR Pocket R2, which is the second generation device of the KTR. This is also Mugong's second mass-produced handheld console. So, the unit we've got here today, the one we're looking at, is a striking red 3:2 aspect ratio handheld console. Just take a look everyone at its truly gorgeous exterior. It boasts a full metal casing, completely enveloped in metal. Whether you examine the top, the back or even the rear cover, it's all crafted from metal. However, as is often the case, it does feel a bit rough, especially with some white residue on the top. It's quite disgusting really. But fortunately, it can be wiped off. Now as for this particular machine, it has a slightly improved grip. As you can see, the back features a subtle ergonomic shape, which could potentially make retro gaming much more comfortable, especially since your index fingers will contour to the device's body more naturally. Regarding its layout, it features a joystick on top and a D-pad on the bottom. You also have the option to swap the joystick and D-pad. So it features a small joystick, and these days this kind of joystick is quite popular. And here are the ABXY buttons and a D-pad. Let's listen to the sound of the D-pad. Now for the ABXY buttons. This time they've all been switched to conductive rubber and they feel great. And then right here you'll find the 4 function keys. They're pretty handy for quick access to various features. At the bottom there's a TF card slot, an HDMI port and a USB-C port. This should be a speaker grill, but there are also speakers here. I'm not sure why. Maybe these are the front speakers and this is for heat dissipation or ventilation. This is an indicator light, potentially for various functions. On top is a row of shoulder buttons. This time the shoulder buttons use a micro switch, so the sound is quiet and very pleasant. Then there's a power button and volume buttons. Also, there's another hole right here. So I really don't know the reason for these 2 holes, but they are just placed right here. And on the back, as you can observe, there's a rather sizable air intake for the fan, while above it you'll find a series of fan exhaust vents. This time the machine comes with active cooling functionality built right in. We can see, as we clearly observe right here regarding this particular the fan. Let's see if there are any options available to us here. It seems that currently its fan isn't functional. That's quite a disappointment, isn't it? It's a real shame. This device's controller is currently unavailable, so at the moment I'm not sure how this fan is actually supposed to function or what its effect will be. There's nothing else to show right now. I'm really not sure what's going on with this fan at the moment. It's quite challenging, and I'm not even certain if I'll be able to get it to actually power on and start working. And its KOS front end, it still hasn't been developed yet. They had repeatedly stated that the KOS front end would launch alongside the new handheld console. However, at present, the KOS front end is still facing significant development challenges and thus cannot be released with the system. Currently, it's essentially just a bare-bones Android operating system with very little in the way of customization or pre-installed features. I booted it up and started playing around with it. It has the Pegasus front end installed, but I ran into a bit of a problem. With Pegasus, it has a really tough time recognizing the files I copy over. You have to manually add the game list. That's certainly something I'll need to dig into further. Moreover, when I jump into a Wii game using this Wii emulator, it unfortunately doesn't provide any way to get rid of some of the visible on-screen elements. For instance, the virtual buttons. Figuring out how to remove them is quite a nuisance, and frankly, I haven't been able to discover a method to make them vanish. And its function buttons, they're pretty unresponsive. Pressing them doesn't do anything at all. So, let's try to see if we can achieve some effect by going into the settings. For instance, selecting this particular setting, and then navigating back to the previous screen. First, let's configure this particular setting, and then we'll observe whether it yields any discernible effect or not. There's still no effect. All it did was transform it into a different format, essentially switching it over to an entirely new state. I just swapped these two, but unfortunately they don't seem to have any effect whatsoever. In fact, they're completely disabled, effectively in an inactive state now. Overall, this machine is quite good. Both the feel and the texture are truly excellent, giving it a premium quality. The metal casing is truly well crafted. It features a matte finish, and the tactile sensation, in my honest opinion, ranks among the finest for any mass-produced handheld console that incorporates a metal shell. So, the system still needs to be polished. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Bye.